Week 2 scores and upsets. The Bellecinos Player of the Week, Coach Jeremy Ward from Twin Valley, will pay us a visit tonight. Big talk, locals in the VT and FSU game. SEC goes 13-1. Top 5, find out who dropped out, who jumped in. Eastside versus Patrick Henry's our game of the week. Stump the Crig, all of this and more tonight on After the Whistle. Gentlemen, how was your week?
It was a great long weekend. Great long weekend.
This is almost like deja vu. Seems like I've done this before. Anyhow, long weekend. Everybody enjoys those 3-day weekends. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. But before we do that, we'd like to recognize our sponsors at this time. These folks help make this show possible. We'd like to thank Freedom Wireless, Bellecinos Pizza and Grinders, Grundy Auto Sales, Hurley IGA, Hurley Pharmacy, Express Print Pack and Ship, Hurley Community Pharmacy, CarQuest Auto Parts, Wooden Horse Grill, Buchanan Pharmacy Associates, Plaza Economy Drug coming soon to the Grundy Plaza, and Buchanan General Hospital. We'd like to thank these sponsors for helping make this show possible and encourage our listeners to go out and patronize these folks. Let them know that you heard us mention their name here on the show, and we'd greatly appreciate it. All right, fellas, we got a lot of games to cover. A lot of stuff happened last week. Coach Krieger, you'll take this away and run with it here.
All right, starting off, Gate City at Abingdon. Like I said, guys, we all picked it last week. A big win for Abingdon. Big margin, but I think Gate City scored first, but Abingdon went on and to win the game. 45-13, and another loss for the Gate City Blue Devils. Keeps continuing for them.
Next, I think Gate City will be improved with Darren Reed going back over there. Like I said, I think you got to give them a little bit of time. They got a tough schedule, but I think with having said all that, I think they are, taking the right direction again and getting things back going over there.
All right, next we have John Battle at Virginia High. Guys, I really didn't see much about this game, but the score was Virginia High 20, John Battle 13. Must have been a great game.
It was tighter than I expected.
I think we all said they would win 2 or 3 touchdowns, and it was only 1, so it was a good game by John Battle.
It's a big rivalry game every year for them,
true.
so you can throw some of the paperwork out the window when that game rolls around, but still, if anything, it's probably my surprise game of the week. I did not expect that.
Next game, guys, we have Lebanon at Lee. Again, exactly what we said would happen. Lee 48, Lebanon 8. Like I said, Lebanon's fighting the numbers. Young, they're just rebuilding, and those rebuilding years, it's pretty tough. Next game, we had Shelby Valley at Ridgeview. Again, Ridgeview's proved that they're playing ball at 49-0. They dominated again this week. We'll get into that. Their opponent next week.
I'm still drinking the Kool-Aid.
Not next week.
I'm still drinking the Ridgeview Kool-Aid.
It's a couple more weeks, I should say. Couple more weeks.
I'm excited to see the next week matchup between Union and Ridgeview. Would that be next week?
No, I don't have it on our list unless if I missed it.
Well, I think it's in a week or 2, but that'll be the one to watch. And like I said, man, Ridgeview, like I said, that's been the talk right now, and they're proving right now in the first 2 weeks, and I think it's going to take somebody good to knock them off.
I agree with you 100%. All right, we have Graham at Tazewell. Let me find the score on that. Graham 41, Tazewell 19. Like you said, rivalry game, in-county game. Throw some of the paperwork out, but Graham did what we figured would happen.
A lot of bright spots from what I've heard from Tazewell. In spite of the score there, they had some kids do some really good things. And I think Tazewell, everything is just moving up. It's just a matter of time.
Young kids.
Yeah,
Everybody's all
We said that
sophomores.
week after week, man. And like I said, that program's on the rise. A lot of young kids.
Okay, we have Patrick Henry at Rye Cove. Patrick Henry 48, Rye Cove 13. Mark Palmer and the Rebels are 3-0 now, 2-0. So basically we all 3 agreed on that. All right, we're going to Marion at Northwood. Marion 57, Northwood 12. You know, like I said, I watched Northwood play. I thought they threw the ball well and they looked pretty decent up front, but just put 12 points up against Marion.
Well, I used to, when I was coaching at Marion, that was always a big game. In spite of the difference in the size of the schools, and Northwood, Marion was trying to bounce back from that loss to Chilhowie, and I'd say they came out ready to roll.
I say you're exactly right. All right, J.I. Burton at Chilhowie. I think, guys, what I read and what I saw, Chilhowie rolled again.
That was a rematch of the Region D, wasn't it? Championship last year.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I just think
Chilhowie 49, J.I. Burton 14, and I think that Norton scored fourth quarter, I think, maybe. But like I said, guys, Chilhowie, we all agree, is number one in our top 5 for a reason. I mean, when you got 18 seniors and you went to the state finals last year, I mean, until somebody beats them, they'll have to stay there.
Well, I think it was a little bit of a statement win too. I didn't expect it. I think we underestimated Chilhowie last week because we really thought Jimbo and them would have something for them. And looks at the score, they pretty much dominated from start to finish.
Yeah. All right, next game, guys, our game of the week last week, Union at Richlands. Union at Richlands.
We were all three wrong.
And all three wrong.
Yep.
All three of us. But, guys, at the end of our prediction, we said that it's going to come down to a blocked punt, blocked field goal, interception. Union blocked a punt and scored, and they had a pick 6 at the end of the game to seal the win. And it was a close game up to that point. They said it was packed, standing room only, but Coach Turner had his guys ready to go. I think Richlands got a couple injuries in that game, but still that's part of it. And Union comes out with a big win. Big win for them.
Absolutely.
All right, go ahead.
And here we thought Union was going to be down this year. That's why I texted Coach Turner a day or two ago, and he said, I thought y'all going to be a little down this year. He just said, we still are right now. So, but them losing the best player in Southwest Virginia and losing the deep senior class, I didn't think they would get by Richlands. But
Not at Richlands.
Not at Richlands, and I'd seen Richlands in some 7-on-7. Like I said, I thought they were really improved, and that was just a shocker to me. So, but
Well, not to stir the hornet's nest, but the game, as good as it wasn't what everybody was talking about, and there was a very unfortunate incident there prior to the game that I think.
Oh, something about the band.
Yeah, a lot of people were throwing a lot of coaches and administration under the bus, and I think it was just nothing but a major miscommunication. I don't think players or the Union band or anybody meant any disrespect to the opposition. And unfortunately, there's some people out there in social media trying to make something out of it that really wasn't. And hopefully they got that thing straightened up over there, because both of them run a class program
And a great ball game.
Yeah, nobody's
Great
going to do
ball
anything disrespectful like that intentionally.
All right, next game, guys, Honeacre at Castlewood. Honeacre came out with the win, but it was like we thought. It was a close game. Honeacre pulled away, I think, there in the second half a little bit to win 21-6. 21-6 there. That gives Honeacre the sweep of Russell County. Sweep of the Russell County. Montcalm at Twin Valley, big win for Coach Warden at Twin Valley Panthers. It was 22 to 13, 26 to 13.
26-16 final score.
26 to 16, there it is, I see it. I'm just sitting here
Montcalm
guessing.
Montcalm got a safety, and they returned a kickback. So
It was the only way.
pretty much for the most of the game, anybody was there, and I watched it. For most of the game, Twin Valley dominated the game and kept Montcalm in check, but they kind of fell off a little bit there in the third quarter.
Some cramps and stuff, I think, happened there with a couple of them, and had to throw some young kids in there, but big win for them.
2-0.
2-0, only undefeated team in the county now.
That's right.
I think it was really big win for Coach Ward, starting out 2-0. He was fighting a little numbers battle
He
there.
had big shoes to fill.
I'm gonna pass on that.
How'd they do against Montcalm last year?
What's the next game?
That's why it was a big win.
I'll tell you, it's good anytime, especially regardless of who the coach is, if you're at a school, you should get out to a good start, 2-0.
Yeah, that helps
That's what you
anything.
need.
Winning
It
helps.
yeah.
Winning
It
helps. Next game, Grundy at Riverview. Exactly what we said was going to happen. Grundy big, Gabe Fiser show. If you don't believe me, go back and listen to our comments. And I made the comment that it was going to be early and often for him, and he come out with a record-breaking game with 336 yards.
Yeah, he only set the school record, didn't he? Right? Grundy High
Yeah,
School rushing
Grundy
team,
High,
yeah, so
Grundy High School.
big game for Gabe.
Record beat Burglow's 333 and David Scammell's 290 are the most that we found that he beat. So congratulations to him. Hurley at Eastmont. We missed this one, guys. Tough loss for Coach Church. 14-12. Managed the game the whole game and had 2 fumbles, and they both turned it into touchdowns, and they lose with 30 seconds left, and it's just a tough loss. Tough loss for the Rebels.
Especially when I felt that they dominated the game. I like to keep up with it. They had several drives, 7-8 minutes, up 12-zip. 2 unfortunate fumbles cost them the game. I think the defense, Tyler Justice did a great job on defense for them. I don't know what the total yardage they held Eastermont to, but it wasn't a hope. I mean, they held them pretty good. So.
And I watched, like I said, I'm there with Anthony. I watched the film on it. They threw a 70-yard touchdown pass that got called back for holding, and I usually don't. Guys, you can call holding almost every play, but to me, it's kind of iffy.
Well, you take a 4-hour trip, and then you add a loss like that to it.
So
It's about an 8-hour trip coming back home.
especially if you're driving the bus back too. All right, that was the games for last week. Like I said, a couple upsets, but lost most of the predictions that we predicted would happen. So congratulations to the teams that won.
All right, with that, it is now time for our Big Talk segment. Big Talk segment is brought to you by the Wooden Horse Grill in Hurley. And the Wooden Horse Grill, located in Hurley, Virginia, is open Sunday through Thursday, 11 to 9, open Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10. The Wooden Horse Grill has home-cooked meals, smoked and grilled steaks, ribs, and more on the weekends. They're open late after ball games. Stop by and grab you a meal there. Excellent place to eat, Wooden Horse Grill in Hurley. Fellas, today the Big Talk segment. We're going to be talking a little bit about VT FSU game, some local boys on the field, and then we'll get maybe into a couple other things. SEC goes 13-1 this past weekend. We'll start off with you, Coach. What do you think about Tech game?
Well, it was an awesome performance by their defense, and especially with all the young kids that they had out there and all the players that they lost off defense with what Bud Foster drawed up. Man, you couldn't ask for a better game plan from him, and just a performance by the Hokies. And it was a good time for Southwest Virginia also. They had 3 kids on the field from Southwest Virginia, which you had Jordan Stout from Homeacre was the kicker for them. You had Stephen Peoples that rotated in and out at tailback, and you
Mitchell was on the opening kickoff return.
And you had Mitchell who was on the kickoff return team. So a lot of big things for Southwest Virginia, and it's actually a really big win for Tech this weekend.
Oh, a huge win. I talked, around here, you got a lot of Tech fans, and you talked to some that really been following them, and they were really impressed with how athletic and some of the speed they had out of their young guys. They thought the defense was going to need a little work or need a year to get under the belt, but playing Florida State, holding them to 3 points, that's pretty daggone good.
I was more impressed with the way they were moving sideline to sideline defensively. I mean, they absolutely flew to the ball as well as I've seen them in years do it. I was very impressed with them.
And you throw Beamer ball in there, they got an easy one, blocked a punt, walked in. Well, that helps. That helps.
They had a lot of big new freshman receivers in the game too that looked good. The Hazelton kid, and
Oh, yeah.
I think maybe the sophomore tight end Cunningham kid, they all look pretty good. So Future looks pretty good for them.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't watch none of it. I was watching Ozark on Netflix. So I'm going by what everybody told me.
I watched it. It was a game. I want to give a shout out to, I've got a relative there, Daniel Bailey. He was on the team. Of course, he didn't make it to the field there the other night, but shout out to Daniel in number 63. So that's another young man from Southwest Virginia. It's also on the squad this year. What about the SEC?
SEC went 13-1, guys, and the loss was Tennessee. And you see a lot of memes on there now, everybody giving Knoxville and UT a hard time. I like UT, I like Knoxville, but guys, they played West Virginia, and the quarterback from West Virginia is going to be up for the Heisman this year. I'm a firm believer. Very good quarterback, and it wasn't like they lost to
No, they didn't lose to
Austin Peay or somebody. I mean, they lost to a daggone good football team, but guys, 13-1 SEC. I mean, I know we got a lot of ACC fans in here, this and that, but boys, SEC football.
Well, Miami was a disappointment this weekend.
Well, yeah, they didn't even score a touchdown, did they?
No.
Yeah, they did at the end.
Okay.
They scored a couple there at the end. But SEC looks powerful again, and I did watch the Alabama game. I mean, I'm a Nick Saban fan. He's one of the best coaches ever. I don't like Alabama, so I just like to root for him to lose.
Don't ask him about his quarterbacks.
That's the first thing I'm going to ask him. Wonder if I go after the whistle and go, Coach Saban, what quarterback are you playing next week? We need to know. He told that lady, he said, honey, don't ask me. Don't ask me.
Everybody found out, though, didn't
They
they?
did.
Man,
But he picked the right one, guys. Oh, what's his name? Tagaloo?
I can't say his name.
Tagaloo or Taggy. He's the best. He's their best quarterback, and he's good.
Paul Tagliabue used
Yeah.
to be the NFL
Oh, yeah, that's who
commissioner.
I'm
Remember
thinking
him?
about.
It's not him. It's
Uh,
not him.
Top back to the ACC and the SEC, man. I'm an ACC fan, but there is no comparison to the speed and the athleticism that's on the field of the SEC. No comparison.
I hit definitely. You saw some.
Throw Tennessee out of the picture. Throw Tennessee out of the picture. They should be in there.
Hey, I did watch the Ole Miss game, and they can't even go to the have a bowl or anything, and they looked real good.
They did do a survey. I think it was at the West Virginia Tennessee game, and I think when they finished, I'm not sure what it may get what the attendance was at the game or approximately.
At the Tennessee West Virginia game, huh?
Well, whatever the attendance was, I think when they got finished, they counted a total of 8 teeth. So when you got UT and West Virginia playing, that's pretty impressive, 8 teeth. No offense to West Virginia, Tennessee fans, we're just trying to rib you a little bit, but I'm really happy West Virginia pulled it out. I'm kind of a closet West Virginia fan as well.
Yeah,
All right, so anybody has anything else?
No, that's
Anything
good.
else on that? All right. Well, this time each week, we recognize our Bellacino's Player of the Week.
Guys, it's gonna shock a lot of people on who gets this.
Bellacino's is proud to announce that they will be selecting a Player of the Week, and they'll also be choosing the Bellacino's Player of the Year. Folks, if you haven't been by Bellacino's in a while, you need to check it out. They've added 11 new big screen TVs. So come on down, enjoy a pizza or a grinder while you catch up and watch your favorite team on the big screen. Bellacino's will also be staying open until 10 p.m. on Fridays. So after watching your favorite team, swing on by, talk about the game, have some fun, and enjoy some late night food with friends, and what I understand, even some cold beverages. Bellacino's would like to wish all of our local teams good luck this season. And Coach Tester, we will turn this segment over to you, the Bellacino's Player of the Week.
Well, this Player of the Week was a little bit easier than last week. I know we had a couple kids that had some really good performances up at Twin Valley this week on their win against Montcalm. And, actually had a couple kids that had some good performances at Eastern Montgomery with Hurley and their loss. But without a doubt, this kid that we're giving the Player of the Week to this week, he rushed 27 times for 336 yards against Riverview, West Virginia. He set a school record for most yards in a single game. And guys, when you think about this, you go back to looking at all the running backs that's in Grundy history. You go back,
Junior Coleman days.
you look at Junior Coleman, you look at the David Scammels, you look at the Tyler Bergelows,
Markham.
Markhams, that's a top
Curry
notch.
Perkins.
Curry Perkins, that's a top notch group, and when you set the single season record for this, with this many yards, this type of performance, it was just an awesome performance, man, and you couldn't ask for a better guy to give it to this week. And actually, our Bellacino's Player of the Week this week is Mr. Gabe Fiser. We're gonna have him come on the show this time and give us a couple comments.
Congratulations.
Yeah, but
Thank you, man. Congratulations. All right, Mr. Fiser here, tell us a little bit what kind of game it was and kind of how it turned out and what happened.
Well, we really didn't get started playing the game till about 8 o'clock. They had a bunch of delays, and it was raining and muddy, but we ended up getting through it. Our line was flying around all over the place. They did a great job. My upbacks, they did a great job, and just helped me get the 336-yard mark.
Good deal. I tell you, we were sitting here talking about the type of performance it was, and as a running back, those don't come around very often, 300-yard games, and you talking about your lineman, your lightning delay there with, the fans standing around got their worth out of the game by standing around. So, actually, the Riverview Raiders, and was a little bit more improved this year than last year, and actually flew around a little bit more. You said I was talking to you earlier. Talk a little bit about those guys.
Oh, they were flying around good. They ran the same set with that fullback, and they started adjusting a little bit. Then we just stayed to our blocks and ended up finding the alleys. But they were good. They were really good.
Right.
Better than last year.
One question that I got for you and that I really admire about you is your humbleness and the way you carry yourself. And how do you keep your focus? Trying to carry a team on your back, trying to be a 4-time state champion, and being the students that you are in school. How do you put that all together? Because I know it's pretty tough to do what you do.
Well, my parents are pretty hard on me, so but I just stay humble and I know anyone could knock me off my pedestal anytime that they want to, so I just kind of gotta keep my head straight all the time.
There you go, guys. As our Player of the Week, Mr. Gabe Fiser. Guys, you got any questions for?
Gabe, my whole family's been around Grundy football for years, going back to the 80s when J.K. and Carey played, and you're right up there with, like we said, the Markhams, the Scammels, the Burgelows, all these Junior Colemans, all these running backs that played. How's that make you feel to be in a league with those guys right there that you probably heard about the 4 years you've been here at Grundy?
Well, ever since I was little, I would set these goals and stuff like this, and I had one goal this year was to beat that record or try to even get close to it, and I ended up doing it. So I was really happy that I did. And some of those guys even messaged me and told me good job. So I was good.
Oh, it's great. It's great. But we're going to have to go back, like you said, about your dad hard on you. Has he ever rushed for 336 yards in a football game? Now, he's probably won some state championships and some national championships in wrestling. We won't go there, but what about some 300 yards rushing games in football?
I don't think he.
There you go. Good. Good for you.
You got something
Good
on
for
it.
you.
Gabe, you mentioned your lineman earlier, any back worthy salt. We mentioned, give credit to his lineman. Talk a little bit about the guys you got up in front of you.
Running behind Tristan Justice, Hunter Scarberry, Colton Justice, Reed Campbell, and Chris St. Clair, they're some big guys. So it wasn't that hard. Tristan pulling all the time, Colton pulling, and Hunter Scarberry. I'm telling you, he was running down the field 20 yards just to hit somebody, and he may have had a flag or two hitting a little late, but.
And you got the lumberyard leading for you or something like that, don't you?
That's our defense.
Oh, that's that defense? Okay,
Inside the hash, that's the lumberyard.
Lumberyard.
That's what it says.
Shout out to the lumberyard. I like it. All right, guys got anything else for me?
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Gabe. Appreciate you coming on with us.
Appreciate you coming.
Good
by.
luck rest of the season.
Thank you.
Never know, may show back up in here again. That's what we're about.
Next week.
We wish everybody the best of luck. All right, folks, this time each week is our Coach's Corner, and Coach's Corner is sponsored by Grundy Auto Sales. Hey, you're in the market for a dependable used car or truck, and you're finding the tread on your old tires wearing out? Are you in need of some new ones? Or is your car or truck in need of a tune-up? Or maybe just a simple repair? Well, if the answer to any of these questions is yes, then you need to stop by Grundy Auto Sales, owned by Tim and Tammy Nichols. Grundy Auto Sales has a wide selection of affordable, dependable vehicles. Whether it's a vehicle you're looking for, round the tires, repair work, Grundy Auto Sales has got you covered. Grundy Auto Sales would like to wish all Buchanan County teams the best of luck this year, and the owners Tim and Tammy pray that all players have a safe and blessed football season. Grundy Auto Sales, the sponsor of our Coach's Corner, and this evening our Coach's Corner guest is Jeremy Ward, Twin Valley High School. Coach Ward, welcome to the show.
Hello, Coach.
Congratulations on the 2-0, man.
Thank you, sir. 2-0. We had pizza, Coach Ward ate it all.
No, he didn't. Brian Moore ate it all.
front.
Brian Moore ate it all. Didn't get any.
Yeah. That's why I can't feel my lips right now. My diabetes is kicked in. Coach, welcome to the show. We'll turn this over, let Coach Krieger kind of crank us up and get us started with it, but we appreciate you coming out. I know Coach Krieger and myself both know what it means for that community for you start out, 2-0, get a couple important wins under your belt, especially considering the fact that you're now the head coach, and I know it's exciting for you to be put in that position. It's even more exciting to be able to get off to a good start, because it's very important when you start something new to get out the gates fast and running, and that's exactly what your team has done. So I'll turn it over to Coach Krieger, let him get you a couple of questions, and we'll.
Well, I know where he's been, what he's doing, and starting out 2-0, like you said, in that community is real big. Being there, like I said, Coach Moore's been there, I've been there, now he's there. Wins, you'll take them anywhere. You take them any wins. Congratulations on being 2-0, but I want you to talk about going, with 18 kids and stuff like that, and what people don't understand, and now, is like, it seems like Twin Valley prepares for Richlands and Union every week, like you just never know.
So having low numbers definitely a challenge week in, week out. You never know coming in on a Monday after a game, who's beat up, may not be able to play that week. But our kids have battled hard these 2 weeks. We put them through a pretty tough preseason. Figured out who's wanting to play, who's wanting to man up on it, and I couldn't be more proud of them. Like I said, going in every week, 18 players, like you said, you're preparing for the big guys. Preparing for something like a Richlands or a Union week in,
every
week out. But our guys have responded well. They come to work every day, ready to get better.
Talk about your young guys on how they're stepping up and playing.
We've got a lot of freshmen, sophomores playing all over the field for us. Jacob Dooley had his first touchdown catch down at Jenkins there a couple weeks ago. DJ is a receiver that's done an excellent job for us, and our sophomores, we got our centers, a 2-year starter right now as a sophomore. So anytime a young kid can start on the offensive line, do good things there. You got Xavier Ward working in the backfield, getting some reps, learning a lot from our seniors there. Brandon teaches him quite a bit. But all of our young guys are stepping into roles that we had to have them step into, and very, very proud of their efforts.
Coach, last year we spread the ball out, threw it a little bit more. Talk a little bit about how you changed things up based on personnel, but we lost some really good, kids that were more suited to that. Talk about what you've done to change things up a little bit for the offense.
The first thing we wanted to do is develop a physicality that, the last couple of years, we lost so many players, so I knew the young guys would have to learn to play more physical. So we came in, run a lot more lead type plays, making them fill the holes. Same thing on defense, making them come up and attack. Offensively, we're still spreading the field, using what our skill sets we have. We're still trying to spread the field, but we're probably a run first. You look back at our last 2 games, I think last week, I know Brandon had 26, 27 carries, and I think our quarterback had 26, 27 carries. So we're keeping it on the ground quite a bit, but we will throw it when we get the opportunity. So big thing I wanted to just get them to is coming off the ball and just being physical. Not so much trying to dominate people, but just getting into people and staying with their blocks. And so far, we've been able to do that.
Well, everybody I'm gonna go back to a question. Everybody's talking that the preseason, Twin Valley this, their linemen's too young, their linemen's gonna, you got 3 Division I linemen, coaches on that staff that play Division I football.
I was wondering where you was going with that for a minute.
No, I mean, you've got Matthew that played at Tech, you played at VMI, Marcus played at VMI. That's some pretty good stuff right there.
I give a shout out to my coaching staff. I've got a great group of coaches. Coach Baldwin handles our defense. He kind of floats around on the offensive side for us, here and there and everywhere. Coach Stiltner is working with our D-line and O-line. And, I'm an offensive lineman at heart, so I still venture down that way. I've worked more with the quarterbacks this year, but I still venture down to the linemen. That's where I'll enjoy being down there in the dirt.
Well, and it shows too. I mean, it shows you linemen, like you said, they're getting off the ball. What I've seen and talking with Coach Baldwin and stuff, they're really coming along and being as young as they are.
They've really come together pretty quick for us. If you watch us in the first couple scrimmages, there were some doubts being sold about what we could do. And we tried doing some different things in the scrimmages, more so for the fact of making us toughen up, knowing that we were going to go towards the spread. But I ran some different things, especially the first scrimmage, just to push our guys a little bit, get them out of their comfort zone.
Well, I know in watching the game Friday night, a couple things that I thought I was impressed with. Number one, you're talking about Dalton White snapping the ball. He's a sophomore. All the snaps were on the money, every one of them. I thought the line, got a pretty good surge, and they fired out and moved well. But the thing that probably impressed me the most was how the defense attacked that fullback from Montcalm. I mean, the kid's huge, and they were taking him out before he can get the line of scrimmage. That was impressive.
Well, we knew from last year how hard of a runner he was, and so we knew he was our primary go-to guy. So we worked all week attacking the lead blocks and coming in, gang tackling him. We knew one-on-one, if we hit him high, he was going to take us for a ride. So we worked all week hitting low, wrapping up, and hanging on until other people got there. And for the most part, we'd have 8, 9 helmets swarming the ball, and defensive-wise, you can't ask for more than that.
Coach, I know you've had a couple different stints. You've coached at Grundy High School, you've coached at Twin Valley, you was assistant at Twin Valley, now you're a head coach at Twin Valley. Talk about how the community and everybody's accepted you and embraced you and support you up there.
A couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I guess it was, I went to Twin Valley. I didn't know how to go into the community. I've been on the other side of it. And a lot of times you come into a community when you're coming from another local school, don't know, but the Twin Valley community is really
Especially the school you come from. I already been there, done that.
But the community really accepted me in. Coach Moore offered me the position to come in and be an assistant for him those first couple of years. And then Coach Baldwin had me as assistant for basketball. So they really welcomed me in. Not just me, my wife, my kids. They're very much supportive of what we're trying to do. And like I said, even basketball, since I took over basketball last year too, so a lot of the same parents, a lot of the same kids. So it's just very well, very, very well.
It's great to hear. Thing real quick, you guys were talking about Coach Baldwin, Coach Ward, and Coach Stiltner. If you take a look at that coaching staff, there's probably not one coach on there that's less than 300 pounds. I'm serious. It's the biggest. I would say you're the biggest coaching staff in Southwest Virginia, hands down.
We got a couple other guys that bring our average down, but
they're trying to compete with Honig.
We've got 8 coaches, including our volunteers, and 5 out of the 8 wear 3Xs shirt size. So yeah, we're fairly good size staff.
They went to a way station the other day on the way to
Hey, and also
we all can't ride the elevator to school at one time.
Hey guys, and also you after the whistle viewers, Facebook, radio, I've got a couple videos that I'm going to post on there from the Twin Valley Montcalm game of some coaches falling down on the sideline. So stay tuned for after the whistle on Facebook of people falling, coaches falling on the sidelines. Sniper was out at Twin Valley High School football field on Friday.
2 weeks in a row, one of our coaches, Mr. Horton, has fell He fell down to Jenkins, and he fell at Twin Valley last week, and then Marcus fell last week too in the mud. So I already told Wendell this week, I said, whether it's turf or not, you gotta fall this week. It's a good sign.
I give Wendell an 8.5 on his recovery.
He jumped up thinking nobody seen
Yeah,
it.
he went down gracefully. He was trying not to fall. Marcus just slipped.
All right,
Last
folks.
thing, Coach, give me what you gotta do to beat Coach Hubbard and them Tigers this week?
Coach Hubbard, does an excellent job at Homeacre, has for 36 years now. Still run his power eye set and his spread sets, and we've got to be fundamental on defense. Got to tackle, can't have any missed tackles, got to be in our place. Offensively, we've got to take care of the football and attack their, I don't want to say weak spots, but attack the defense with the opportunities they give us. There's some things we think we can do against them. We just got to play sound both sides of the ball.
You talk about Coach Hubbard and his 36 years there. Even when they say Homeacre's down, you still got to be ready.
They're still good. They're still prepared and they're still
good.
ready to play.
I remember 2 years when we played them 2 years ago, a really good season we had. They came out and put us in a dogfight over at the Cliff. And we were the 10-0 that year, and they gave us a really big scare that night. So you always got to be ready. Coach Hubbard always has something up his sleeve.
I will say this, spoke to Athletic Director Trevor Coleman at Homeacre earlier this evening, and those of you that are Homeacre fans or you've been around the Homeacre community, maybe some ball games, you may remember Dave Homeacre. Dave, a lifelong Homeacre fan, and served as assistant coach there for years. They're going to honor him Friday night. He passed away last year, and those of you that know Dave, it'd be really nice to come out and take part in that ceremony that they're going to have there. They're going to honor him. So Dave Homeacre, really great guy from Homeacre. They're going to recognize him and his family tomorrow night. All right, Coach, we want you to sit around and stay with us for the rest of the show. We're
Well, if he don't want to.
go over a few other things.
I mean, it's 100 degrees in this joint.
Well, they pay the power bill here, and they guess we're gonna they turn the AC on here. All right, anyhow, this is the moment we all been waiting for every week. Of course, this is that moment where we attempt to reach deep into the mind of Coach Krieger and extrapolate some of the wisdom by asking him some questions that would normally stump the average man. That's correct, ladies and gentlemen. We have an envelope, and in this envelope, it has been hermetically sealed and placed in a vault for the last 48 hours under armed security, and is delivered by an armored car just a few minutes ago. Now we have opened the briefcase, and I am going to open the envelope. These questions have not been seen by Coach Krieger. We're going to attempt to stump the Crig. But before we do that, Stump the Crig is brought to you by CarQuest Auto Parts. Got to get those plugs in. It's brought to you by CarQuest Auto Parts over in Hurley. Folks, if you need something for your automobile, stop by and see those folks over there at CarQuest Auto Parts, located in Hurley, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. All right, so here we have the questions. Our first question, Coach Krieger. If you rip a hole in a net, does it have more holes in it, or does it have fewer holes in it?
More. I mean,
Well, there has to be
it's
an
more.
answer.
I mean, if you rip another hole in it, that's one more than what was in it.
But if you rip the hole, then you would be
Well,
destroying
you
the
can't rip a hole. You can't rip a hole, so there'll be more. If there's a hole in it and you rip an extra one, that's an extra hole.
That's gonna get us banned. Well, you heard it here, folks. You can't rip a hole in a net. All right, nonetheless, I still think if you rip a hole in it, you're getting rid of the other holes that's in the net. But you say that you can't do it.
Well,
Okay,
if you rip a hole, I mean, how do you rip a hole?
Would you have-
I'm staying out of this, guys.
Would you have more, or would you? Would you have more or less holes in the net?
More.
More. Okay, final answer is more. You heard it there. All right. Second question and final question. If you are in a restaurant waiting for the waiter, are you not the waiter?
No, because I'm not gonna get tipped at the end of the meal. How about that?
That's a pretty good
How
answer.
about that?
It's a pretty good answer.
There you go.
That's a pretty good answer. So because you're not gonna get a tip at the end of the meal, you're not technically the waiter. But if
That's
you're
right.
waiting, are you not the waiter?
No, because I'm not gonna get that tip.
So
Unless if Mike Rife and George Krieger's eating it, nobody's gonna get a tip.
That's a good one. Mike Wright from Georgia Critter is eating. You want to give a tip?
Lord.
You tell those ladies here at Belsino's that, so they'll
Yeah,
know.
I definitely will.
Man.
All right, folks, well, you heard it straight from the Crig. We have failed once again to stump the
Can't
Crig
rip a
this week.
hole.
Stump the Crig brought to you by CarQuest Auto Parts. All right, fans, if you're a listener to this show on the radio or on Facebook or YouTube, give us a visit, post some scores on Friday night, take a picture of the scoreboard, take a short video, maybe your team's getting ready to score, grab your phone, film it, send us the video, we'll put it on our page. We want to try to get as much fan interaction on those pages as we possibly can. All right, folks, now it's time for our Dotson's IGA Top 5. Brought to you by Dotson's IGA in Hurley. Stop by and check out Dotson's IGA Express in Hurley Square. Dotson's IGA is known for its fresh meat department. They take special orders and will even prepare it to suit your taste. Contact Dotson's IGA for the best steaks in town. They also sell a wide variety of trays. So if you're in need of a sandwich tray, a meat tray, cheese tray, even a fruit tray, they've got you covered. So stop by and check out Dotson's IGA Express. You'll be glad you did. Dotson's IGA Express, hometown proud. Dotson's IGA. And by the way, Dotson's IGA is now receiving QVC pallets. So they're going to have a lot of QVC items there as well. So stop by and do some shopping there for some items, and especially in time for the holidays as well.
But guys, there's one thing you can't do or you can't beat, and that's IGA's meat. Go to Hurley, IGA, you can't beat their meat.
You heard it straight from the Crig
From the Crig.
himself. All right. Here we are, top 5 this week. All right, we're going to turn this over to you, Coach Tester.
All right, top 5 1A. We got a new one in at number 5, and we're going with Eastside. Eastside at number 5 1A. Washington played against Central 2 weeks ago. Very impressed with them. Got a lot of speed. Really good quarterback, and I think they're going to make some noise in 1A. I think they're going to be in there, you know, along with Grundy and J.I. Burton and Chilhowie there, and Coach Palmer up and Patrick Henry. Number 4, we got Patrick Henry and Mark Palmer's Patrick Henry Rebels. I think they pulled off a big win this week. Who did it?
40.
Yeah, it was Ryco, 48 to 13,
yeah.
and we got there. I know a lot of people says, well, Grundy's got that loss. Why is not Patrick Henry above them? Well, Grundy got beat by the number 1 team that we have in AA. So
Well, just hold before you talk now. Hold on. Just hold up. You jumping the gun.
We got to
here.
play the suspense
You gotta
game
play
here
it.
so they can get ratings.
So like we said, we got Patrick Henry at number 4. We got the Grundy Golden Wave at number 3. Like I said, their loss come to one of the best teams in 2A, Ridgeview, which is proven right now, and I think we all still drinking that Ridgeview Kool-Aid.
gargling it, mouthwash.
But going to be excited to see them in Union play here in a couple weeks. Number 2, we still got Galax, and Coach Dixon and Galax up there got a really good team this year. I think them and Chilhowie still battled it out for the region, or in the semifinals last year. That was a really good game, so I think those two are going to be top notch again. And number 1, we got Chilhowie, who returns 20 out of 22 starters, really having no problem right now with the teams they're playing, and looks like they're going to be up there again.
All right, let's recap single A, number 5.
Number 5, we got Eastside. Number 4, Patrick Henry. Number 3, Grundy. Number 2, Galax. Number 1, Chilhowie.
All right, folks, you heard it. That's our 1A top 5 for Southwest Virginia. We just want to remind you before we get into our 2A here that when we do these picks, these top 5 that we have, we try to make sure to include the Mountain West, the BDD, the Hogaheaty, the Southwest District, the Cumberland, and the Mountain 7. All right, let's move on to 2A.
All right, in 2A, at number 5, I think we may have had them number 5 last week, is Virginia High. Virginia High come off a close one this week with John Battle, but I think they're a really good football team with a lot of athletes. Coach Chris up there doing a good job, and I think you'll see them up there around the 1st of November. Got Graham coming in at number 4. Like I say, year in and year out, we think Graham's loaded with athletes. Coach Tony Palmer up there does a great job. And
they added Snake Palmer.
Snake Palmer.
Snake Palmer's on there.
Snake Palmer.
So,
chocolate milk's all they need now.
Got Graham at number 4. All right, our number 3 team dropped from number 2 last week. The Richlands Blue Tornadoes come off a tough loss against Union. Actually, that we all 3 got wrong.
We did. Sorry, Travis.
Yeah.
My bad.
You know, but starting off, what do we always say? To be the man, you gotta beat the man.
That's right.
And Union was there last year, and they look like they're gonna be there this year, but having lost the best player in Southwest Virginia and a load of seniors, we thought, you know, they would be a little down this year, but Travis Turner's got them playing again. So anyway, number 2 would be Ridgeview. The Ridgeview Wolfpack.
They moved from 1 to 2.
Guys, what I just say, to be the man, you gotta beat the man. I'm going with Ridgeview at number 2, and my number 1 is the Union Bears.
What about that?
At
Union?
number 1, the Union Bears.
All right, Ridgeview, what are they?
Hey, that's
Wolfpack.
Wolfpack.
Wolfpack. They got you all playing a couple weeks, and it looks like that Ridgeview's, no, they play, Central this week.
Yeah.
I thought they might be off and then play Union, but guys, you, not wanna jump the gun here, cause I thought you had a bye this week. You play Central. Guess you don't wanna overlook them right now, so,
Well, you know,
your boy in Central could knock them off and put them down to 3 or 4
yeah,
this week.
right, they could. They gotta play really well. Like I said, you take 6 or 7 freshmen starting on the field, it's gonna be tough.
But we go back on paper wise.
It's gonna be tough for Central. My heart's with Central, but my mind's telling me Ridgeview on this one.
Well, see, I don't see Union or Richlands playing this week, so they took their bye week right after they played each other, and that, I mean, that whoever scheduled that, that's big time right there.
All right, so let's recap the top 5 in 2A.
Number 5, we got Virginia High. Number 4, we got Graham. Number 3, we got Richlands. Number 2, Ridgeview, and number 1, Union.
All right, folks, you heard that.
Big shake up in the top
Shake
5.
up in the top
Wasn't a
5.
big shakeup. They just switched numbers, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm still.
I mean, we're gargling that Kool-Aid
I-
and mouthwash, and here,
I am too, but
come on, Wolf Kitties.
All right, it's time for the Wolfpack to get their act together then. I can't see where they dropped off, but anyhow. All right, now let's talk about this week's games. Got a lot of games coming up this week. Important games, I mean, early in the season, you're already happening. Go ahead, Coach Krieger, tell us what we got coming up.
First one on the list, we've got Abingdon at Pulaski. Really don't know much about Pulaski. Coach Tester might, if he might have seen them over the summer. I haven't. I have no clue.
Steve James coaching up there, used to be.
Emory boy.
Emory boy, Stephen worked at
Fort
Fort for a
Chisholm.
while and was the defense coordinator for Steve Wright at Marion for a while.
Yeah, don't know if they won or lost last week, but I know Abingdon won. They're undefeated right now, but I'm going with Emory born and Emory bred. I'm going with Pulaski beating, giving Abingdon their first loss this week.
Yeah, I'll take Pulaski
I'll
also.
take Pulaski also. They got a lot of good tradition up there.
All right, we got Graham at Giles. Guys, in the past, this game would be awesome. I mean, but I think Giles is down a little bit this year. Not saying they can't beat Graham, but I'm going with Graham winning by a couple touchdowns.
I'll take Graham as well. I think Graham's, they got their legs back under them after that Bluefield game and they're ready to roll. I look for them to go 9-1, well, I'll say 9-1, maybe 8-2.
Maybe 8-2.
Don't
All
be
right.
scared, man. Speak up.
8-2.
All right, we got Central at Ridgeview. Like I said, this goes back to the paper, which Central's young. I'm gonna go with Ridgeview, but I really can't wait to hear what Coach Tester, how he picks, but I'm going with the Wolfpack in this one.
I'll take Ridgeview as well.
Well, guys, you know, I would like to go with Central with my heart, but they're too young right now, and Ridgeview's gonna handle this one pretty easy.
Oh.
Ridgeview.
He's all in, man.
Sorry, Tyson. Sorry, buddy. I know it's tough on you. All right, Gate City at Sullivan South. I don't know. I know one of them teams is not very good over there, north, south, east, or west. I don't know which one it is.
Well, I'm gonna call this one. I'm gonna be the first one to say it. Gate City gets their first win.
Well, I'm going with Sullivan South, just because, guys, you gotta get that. I mean, they've lost some games, and I just don't see it right now. Like I said, once Coach Reed gets there for a couple more weeks, or maybe by the end of the year they'll be ready, but, I'm going with Sullivan South.
I'm gonna go with Coach Moore on this and go take the Gate City Blue Devils. I think they're gonna pull one off this week.
All right, we got Lee at John I. Burton. Lee coming off a big win, last week.
See how he drilled Burton.
Yeah, so, but you got Jimbo Factory in there. Don't know how good Lee is, but I'm gonna go with Lee. I'm gonna go with Lee here. Just, I know that Norton lost some kids, and Lee looked like they put up a lot of points last week.
I think Lee just got a lot more depth than Norton's got right now. I'm gonna go with Lee also.
I'll take Lee across the board.
Well, guys, I'm wrong again. Imagine that.
Keep it-
Imagine that. We got Letcher County, Central Kentucky. That's, who not, Letcher County, Central Kentucky. Is that like two schools?
Letcher Central.
Letcher
Letcher
County,
Central.
Central Kentucky.
Yeah.
At Union. Union does not have a bye this week. Gosh, was that long weekend got me. Ozark got me freaked out, man. I think people was watching me. So I'm going with Union. Easy as that.
I'll take Union.
I'll take Union on this one also, since they're number one in their top 5 2A.
All right, Grundy at Lebanon. Again, Grundy big, Gabe Fiser show, just like last week.
I expect Grundy to roll in this one.
Yeah, it's
You know, I think Lebanon is much improved, but they still don't have enough for Grundy. Grundy rolls in this one pretty big.
yeah. Next game, Riverview at Tazewell. Improved Riverview team, but Tazewell's too much speed, wins big.
Bulldogs get their first win right here this
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, I think they get their first win and they win big. Too much speed for Riverview.
Twin Valley at Honeacre.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
no, chime in here.
Battle of the undefeateds.
No pressure.
Undefeated.
No pressure. All right, who's gonna start this one out?
Not me.
Not you. All right, Coach Tester.
Man, this could be,
Drew the short straw.
this could go down to the wire on this one. Twin Valley being 2-0, Coach Hubbard being 2-0. First time y'all been 2-0 in a while. I know Coach Moore coached last year. He wasn't 2-0, was he?
No.
No.
Coach Hubbard wasn't 2-0 last year at this time, I don't think.
No, he wasn't.
Like I said, I think,
I did beat Coach Edward one time, 2 years ago.
Yeah, cause he went to, he said, well, what's the big deal about
yeah,
beating?
you did beat Coach
Everybody
Hubbard.
talking
You
about
did.
losing, so the first time I coached this, I thought it was a big deal, you know.
I think this is gonna be a
I
top
was
ball
left
game.
a pretty good team. though.
You're welcome, you're welcome.
I'll go on record here. Naturally, I'm gonna be partial to Twin Valley. I think Twin Valley is very capable of going over there and playing a solid game, especially if they can keep the ball away from Honeacre for a while and then control the clock. I think there's gonna be a major factor though that's gonna cause a lot of trouble for them. That's the questionability of Tyler King, whether or not he's gonna be able to play. He was last week's player of the week, and whether or not he's able to go Friday night is going to determine how Twin Valley rolls in that game.
What's wrong with him? I'm glad you went first.
Undisclosed.
It's questionable.
It's questionable.
Game time decision.
Game time decision. Go ahead.
So you're going with,
I'm gonna go Twin Valley.
oh, you was leaning, talking?
Oh,
like you
no,
was going.
I'm saying, that could happen, but I'm gonna go Twin Valley. I mean, I'm partial.
I am, guys, I'm going to Twin Valley.
It's Tyler play.
Game time
Game
decision.
time decision. That to me is Tyler King will be on the field. So I think you're gonna see a top ball game, and I think Coach Hubbard's favoring this by a small margin, but I'm gonna go for the upset and take Jeremy Ward and the Twin Valley Panthers on this one. 3-0.
All right, it's 3-0 across the board here.
All right, we've got Hurley at Pike Central, both coming off losses. Hurley, just the way they lost, it's, especially those games you're supposed to win.
Demoralized.
Yes, those games you're supposed to win, and it don't work out like, and it always don't work out. Like I said, on paper, and you're supposed to beat somebody, it don't mean nothing. That's why you play the game. At Pike Central lost big. I don't think they're 0-2. Hurley's 1-1, but
But you gotta factor in, 3A school versus
that's
what
right.
I'm
And,
thinking right
you
now.
know,
170 kids.
like I said, I've seen them play too, but you know what? I'm going with old roommate and him keeping the ball from Pike Central and having a chance at the end and maybe pulling it off. I'm going with Hurley with the upset.
Well, you know which way I'm going, so.
Pike Central.
I do think Hurley's in for a tough game. Pike Central, played them last year. They had their way with us, big, strong up front. I think they beat us 42-0 last year. Tripway School down there in Kentucky. Numbers wise, just, Hurley's at a disadvantage, but I'm gonna roll with the Rebels and hope church can bounce back on this and get a W.
Well, what it looks like, both of them run the football. The game's gonna go by pretty quick, and, you know, if, Coach Church can go on some of them 7-8 minute drives and
I
run
think
that clock.
Hurley can do the same thing, you know, control the clock and eat that, time off of it there.
It's about the same way with Twin Valley playing Honaker. Twin Valley's gonna have to keep the ball from them, drive the field, score, not turning the ball over, and I think both of them's capable, both
Hurley
teams
just
are
can't
capable of
turn-
doing that.
They can't afford to do what they did last week and have 2 turnovers and totally dominated the game and just had 2 enforcing turnovers that cost them.
Challenge those boys, call them out there, and go out there and rebound from that tough loss.
So-
I'm gonna take her.
Castlewood guys at Thomas Walker. Castlewood coming off another loss, but played well. Thomas Walker, I think, won. I'm going with Thomas Walker and old Grundy boy, Nick Johnson. He's got them playing pretty good right now. And
I'm gonna take Thomas Walker as well. I think Thomas Walker's looking at probably anywhere from 7-8 wins this year, regular season. I think they're definitely playoff time.
I'm going against y'all on that. I think Darrell Taylor's defense is too stout for Thomas Walker. I think they're gonna control the ball, and I think they're gonna hold Thomas Walker pretty good on defense.
and you're right. I mean, it can go. I mean, I agree with you there, but I'm going. Thomas Walker can throw the ball a little bit, but like you said, that's a good pick. It's not a bad pick.
Going with Darrell Taylor and Castlewood Blue Devils.
And I'm a Darrell Taylor fan.
All right, let me get our last plug here.
Yep.
It's up to our game of the week. Last game covering, that's Eastside at Patrick Henry. It's our Freedom Wireless game of the week. Imagine a man falling through the sky. Now imagine that man lands on top of your house. You know what that man's like? He's like your cell phone bill. He's through the roof. If your cell phone bill is through the roof, what you need to do is stop by and see the folks at Freedom Wireless and Anchorage Shopping Center. They've got unlimited talk, text, and data plans starting at $30 a month, nationwide coverage on the Verizon network, and they also offer free roaming and international, unlimited international calling to Canada and Mexico. So stop by and see them or give them a call, 276-244-1407. It's Freedom Wireless and Anchorage Shopping Center. All right, Eastside at Patrick Henry, fellas, as we wind it down here, what do y'all think?
Gonna be a great football game. Eastside playing good football right now. Patrick Henry undefeated, playing good football right now. It's at Patrick Henry. I'm gonna pick Mark Palmer and the Patrick Henry Rebels to pull it off at home, but again, gonna be a great football game. Eastside can win this football game.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna take Patrick Henry as well. I think they're just gonna out physical Eastside. I think the brand and style of football that they play is more physical, which is what Coach Palmer is looking for. And I think where they grind it out. And if the weather stays, questionable the way it is, I think it's gonna favor Patrick Henry also.
I think this one's gonna be a toss-up. I think it's gonna come down, to the last game, to the last minute with this team. I seen Eastside play against Central. I was very impressed with them. Got a lot of speed, like I said, good quarterback. They need to tighten their defense up a little bit, but I think Patrick Henry and Mark Palmer has too much for them, especially at Patrick Henry. I'm gonna go with the Rebels.
So our game of the week across the board, everybody agrees it's Patrick Henry over Eastside.
And boys, and it's the game of the week. You can go either way.
But I wouldn't be.
Either way. Wouldn't be shocked if Eastside won.
Eastside won. Would not be shocked.
All right. Well, with that, we'll give a quick mention to our sponsors before we close things out. I'd like to recognize Freedom Wireless, Bellacino's Pizza and Grinders, Grundy Auto Sales, Hurley IGA, Hurley Pharmacy Express Print Pack and Ship, Hurley Community Pharmacy, CarQuest Auto Parts, Wooden Horse Grill, Buchanan Pharmacy Associates, Plaza Economy Drug coming soon to the Grundy Plaza, and Buchanan General Hospital. All right, and speaking of Buchanan General Hospital, they are our newest sponsor. We'd like to welcome them aboard. Buchanan General Hospital celebrating 40 years of service in Buchanan County. This October makes 40 years. It's amazing. General surgery services provided by Dr. J.M. Patel. Numerous inpatient and outpatient general surgery services provided. Cardiology services as well. They have the King Mountain Clinic, the Harmon Clinic, the Commonwealth Family Care. And all these clinics are open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. So stop by and visit them. Also would like to recognize Buchanan Therapy Services. Buchanan Therapy Services, Christy Plymel, of course, is the PT down there. They provide all type of services, outpatient physical therapy clinic, committed to meeting patients' rehabilitative needs, are dedicated to the highest quality one-on-one patient care in the area. Stop by and visit the folks at Buchanan Therapy Services. All right, you guys are getting ready to head out here. We got about 30 seconds left. Coach Ward, we appreciate you coming, being with us, and you want to make a final prediction for us on that game of the week?
Patrick Henry by 2 touchdowns.
Patrick Henry by 2 touchdowns, and of course, we expect Twin Valley to do well this Friday as well. We wish you the best of luck. And folks, until next time, I'm Coach Moore.
Coach Tester.
Coach Krieger.
And practice is officially over.